Hello, welcome to my channel. Before proceeding to study, please subscribe to my channel. Today, we will explore the fascinating world of English for communication. We'll dive into key concepts like vocabulary building and comprehension. Slide 1. Acquaintance with foreign prefixes and suffixes. Today, we are diving into the fascinating world of vocabulary building, specifically by exploring how prefixes and suffixes, often originating from foreign languages, help us understand and form new words in English. First, let's define our key terms. A prefix is a word part that we attach to the beginning of a base word. Think of it as adding a small piece at the front to modify the word's meaning. For example, if we take the word happy and add the prefix un, we get unhappy, which completely changes the meaning to not happy. Understanding prefixes is incredibly helpful because it allows you to decode the meanings of many new words you encounter. A suffix, on the other hand, is a word part that we add to the end of a base word. Suffixes can change the meaning of a word, but they also often change its grammatical function, for instance, turning a verb into a noun. Consider the word act. If we add the suffix or, we get actor, which signifies one who does the action of acting. Recognizing suffixes helps you understand not only the meaning but also how a word is being used in a sentence. Now, here's a crucial point. English has a rich history of borrowing words and word parts from other languages, particularly Latin, Greek, and French. Over centuries, many prefixes and suffixes from these foreign languages have become integral parts of the English vocabulary. The significance of being aware of these origins is that it provides a powerful tool for expanding your vocabulary. Once you understand the meaning of a common Latin or Greek prefix, you'll be able to infer the meaning of numerous English words that use it. In the following slides, we will focus on some of the most common prefixes and suffixes that English has adopted from these foreign languages. We'll see how they contribute to forming derivatives, new words created from a base word by adding prefixes or suffixes, synonyms, words with similar meanings, and antonyms, words with opposite meanings. Slide 2. Common prefixes from foreign languages. Let's start by looking at some common prefixes that English has borrowed, primarily from Latin. 1. The prefix an comes from Latin and means not. This is a very common prefix that directly creates antonyms. For example, happy becomes unhappy, certain becomes uncertain, and do becomes undo. Recognizing an immediately tells you the word has a negative or opposite meaning. 2. Re, also from Latin, signifies again or back. It often indicates repetition or reversal of an action. Examples include do becomes redo, do again, appear, becomes reappear, appear again, and wind becomes rewind, wind back. 3. Pre, Latin means before. It indicates that something comes earlier in time or order. Examples are view becomes preview, view before, fix becomes prefix, fix before the main part, and pair becomes prepare, make ready before. 4. Post. Latin is the opposite of pre and means after. It indicates something that comes later in time or order. Examples include script becomes postscript, writing after graduate becomes postgraduate, after graduating, and pone becomes postpone, put after. 5. Inter. Latin means between or among. It often shows a connection or relationship between two or more things. Examples are national becomes international, between nations, act becomes interact, act between or with, and city becomes intercity, between cities. 6. Sub. Latin means under or below. It can also indicate a lower degree or rank. Examples are marine becomes submarine, under the sea way becomes subway, under the ground way, and soil becomes subsoil, below the topsoil. 7. Trans. Latin means across or through. It often indicates movement or change from one place or state to another. Examples are port becomes transport, carry across, late becomes translate, carry across languages, and MIT becomes transmit, send through. Slide 3. More common prefixes from foreign languages. Now, let's explore some more common prefixes, this time with origins primarily in Greek. 1. Anti. Greek means against or opposite. Like an, it often helps create antonyms or indicates opposition. Examples include biotic becomes antibiotic, against life bacteria, freeze becomes antifreeze, against freezing, and war becomes anti-war, against war. 2. Auto. Greek means self. It indicates that something is done by oneself or a self-operating. Examples are biography becomes autobiography, self-written life story matic becomes automatic, self-operating, and mobile becomes automobile, self-moving. 3. Bi. Latin, but also found in Greek roots, means two. It indicates a quantity of two. Examples are cycle becomes bicycle, two wheels lingual becomes bilingual, two languages, and annual becomes biannual, twice a year. 4. Co. Latin means with or together. It indicates joint action, existence, or relationship. Examples are operate becomes cooperate, operate together, exist becomes coexist, exist together, and worker becomes co-worker, worker with another. 5. Micro. Greek means very small. It indicates something of a minute size. Examples are scope becomes microscope, instrument to see small things, chip becomes microchip, very small electronic circuit, and organism becomes microorganism, very small living thing. 6. Macro. Greek is the opposite of micro and means large or long. It indicates something of a significant size or scale. Examples are economics becomes macroeconomics, study of large-scale economies, scopic becomes macroscopic, visible to the naked eye, and nutrient becomes macronutrient, large quantity nutrient. 7. Tele. Greek means far or distant. It indicates something that operates or is perceived over a distance. Examples are phone becomes telephone, sound from afar, vision becomes television, distant viewing, and scope becomes telescope, instrument to see distant objects. Slide 4. Common suffixes from foreign languages. Now, let's turn our attention to suffixes, word parts added to the end of words, often derived from Latin and Greek. 1. Or, and, a. Primarily Latin, both commonly mean one who does or a person associated with an action. These suffixes often form nouns indicating a profession or role. Examples: act, plus, or, equals, actor, one who acts, create, plus, or, equals, creator, one who creates, teach, plus, a, equals, teacher, one who teaches, write, plus, a, equals, writer, one who writes. 2. Tin and in Latin typically indicate the act or state of. These suffixes form nouns that describe a process or a result. Examples: create, plus, tin, equals, creation, the act of creating, act, plus, in, equals, action, the act of doing, tense, plus, in, equals, tension, the state of being stretched, decide, plus, sin, equals, decision, the act of deciding, revise, plus, sin, equals, revision, the act of revising. 3. Able and able, Latin, both mean capable of or suitable for. These suffixes form adjectives that describe a possibility or capability. Examples: read plus able equals readable, capable of being read, wash, plus able equals washable, capable of being washed, vis, plus able equals visible, capable of being seen, ed, plus able equals edible, capable of being eaten. 4. Al, from both Latin and Greek roots, means relating to. This suffix forms adjectives that indicate a connection or characteristic. Examples: nation plus al equals national, relating to a nation, logic, plus al equals logical, relating to logic, music, plus al equals musical, relating to music, physic, plus al equals physical, relating to the body or nature. 5. Eyes, primarily Greek and its variant. Eyes, often in British English, mean to make or to become. These suffixes form verbs that indicate a process of becoming something or making something a certain way. Examples: modern plus eyes equals modernize, to make modern, real, plus eyes equals realize, to make real or understand, organ, plus eyes equals organize, to make orderly, civil, plus eyes equals civilize, to make civil. 6. Ist, Greek, typically means one who believes in or is skilled in a particular field or ideology. This suffix forms nouns indicating a profession or a belief system. Examples: art plus ist equals artist, one skilled in art, science, plus ist equals scientist, one skilled in science, economy, plus ist equals economist, one skilled in economics, journal, plus ist equals journalist, one skilled in journalism. 7. Ism, Greek, often denotes a belief, doctrine, or practice associated with a particular ideology or field. This suffix forms nouns indicating these systems or practices. Examples: capital plus ism equals capitalism, economic system, social, plus ism equals socialism, political, economic system, real, plus ism equals realism, artistic, philosophical doctrine, tour, plus ism equals tourism, practice of traveling for pleasure. Slide 5. Reading comprehension. Finally, let's discuss reading comprehension, which is your ability to understand the meaning of written text. This is a fundamental skill that underpins your academic success in virtually every subject and is crucial for effective communication in all aspects of life. To improve your reading comprehension, here are several effective strategies. 1. Previewing. Before you even start reading in detail, take a moment to skim the text. Look at the headings, subheadings, any bold words, and any visual aids like pictures or graphs. This gives you a general idea of what the text is about and helps you prepare your mind for the information. 2. Active reading. Don't just passively look at the words. Engage with the text by asking yourself questions as you read. Make brief notes in the margins or highlight key information. This keeps your mind active and helps you focus on the important points. 3. Vocabulary building. When you encounter unfamiliar words, don't just skip over them. Try to guess their meaning from the context of the surrounding sentences. If the word seems important, make a note of it and look it up in a dictionary later. Building your vocabulary is a continuous process that significantly improves comprehension. 4. Identifying the main idea. As you read, try to pinpoint the central point or argument that the author is trying to convey. What is the most important thing the text is saying? Often, the main idea is found in the introductory or concluding paragraphs, but it can be implied throughout the text. 5. Understanding supporting details. Once you've identified the main idea, pay attention to the details that the author provides to explain or support that central point. These details provide evidence, examples, and further information that clarifies the main idea. 6. Making inferences. Sometimes, the author doesn't explicitly state everything. You need to be able to read between the lines and draw conclusions or make educated guesses based on the information that is provided. This involves using your prior knowledge and the clues in the text. 7. Summarizing. After reading a section or the entire text, try to briefly restate the main points in your own words. This helps you check your understanding and solidify the information in your mind. 8. Analyzing text structure. Pay attention to how the text is organized. Is it presenting a cause and effect relationship? Is it comparing and contrasting two ideas? Is it following a chronological order? Recognizing the structure can help you follow the author's train of thought and understand the relationships between different parts of the text. 9. Rereading. If you find a part of the text confusing or if you feel you haven't fully grasped the meaning, don't hesitate to go back and reread it. Sometimes, a second reading can clarify things that were unclear the first time.